Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So remember my videos back in the day I used to do called After the Hype? I used to do Tech Talk Tuesdays. I used to do all these things. And the After the Hype series that I used to do back in the day, I think that was the most realistic approach that I could have to, instead of doing 24 hours, 48 hours later. That was pretty much what that was. After the hype, I just stopped doing it. I started to see some things. And I just stopped doing it. But this phone deserves After the Hype. Reason being is because I knew what I was getting into purchasing this phone. I know that I still have the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Here's what I'm going to tell the people that are asking for the S25 Ultra versus the S26 Ultra. I showed you in my first impressions. That's your comparison. The hardware looks different. That's the comparison. They function identical. So I'm going to go ahead and give you After the Hype on the S26 Ultra, and I'm going to talk about a few things in this video. So first thing I want to talk about is the battery life. The battery life on this phone, the first time after that 24 hours passed, I've been using it now for a couple days, I think. This is day 3, I believe, or something like that. I think I got this on Tuesday and we're on Thursday. So yeah, at the recording of this video. So I charged the phone once. It lasted about roughly 6.5, 7 hours of screen on time with about 15 to 20% left. That was my battery life in the first day. So the battery life is decent. However, and that's good for what it is. I'm not downplaying that the battery life is bad. That's really strong battery life. I've always said that over the years. If I can get 6.5 hours out of a phone in a full 24-hour time period, I'm good. That's a good window for me. I wasn't expecting stellar battery life because I have phones from OnePlus and other manufacturers there. It kills this battery. The OnePlus 15 in particular and the OnePlus 13, those are my 2 favorite phones for battery life currently, like in the smartphone bang 'em up era. It's not the iPhone 17 Pro Max anymore. I still have the iPhone 17 Pro Max in the house, but I regularly daily drive the 17 Pro or the iPhone Air. The battery life on the 17 Pro Max is great. It is for sure probably matching this phone or maybe a little bit better on the standby time, but neither one of them can compete with the OnePlus 15. That battery life is ridiculous. I mean, you're banging out 9, 10 hours of screen on time. You still have a day and a half. You're only a day and a half in. It's incredible. Different battery technology, obviously, but this phone's battery is what I thought it would be. It's a strong 24-hour to 36-hour phone. And that's what it's going to be. So the hype for that was never really there. I kind of figured I would get pretty good battery life. I mean, it is the new processor. Like I've seen some people commenting, telling other people that you should upgrade from the 24 or the 25 or the 23 to this phone because you're going to get the new processor. Well, my advice, and let's move to upgrading now that you've heard my battery thoughts and experiences. Folks, don't upgrade if you have, especially if you have the 24. Buy it. I've given you some links down below to get the best deal. Don't give up your S24 Ultra, not for this phone, not for the 25. If you have the 24 or 23 or the 22, I'll even say, I don't think you're going to get this stellar experience that you think you might get because of the new processor. And yes, those phones still have the Bluetooth functionality. We all know the 25, they took it away. But did I say it? This is the rear camera on the S26 Ultra. I don't know if I said that or not, but I wouldn't give those phones up. I would just buy. And that was my mistake back in the day with the 24 to 25. However, I don't need to keep all these phones. I'm getting my use out of them, getting rid of them because the trade-in deals were so good. That is the only reason I went from the 24 to the 25. And I don't miss the Bluetooth functionality in the pen. I just use hand gestures because they are there and they've always been there. But I will say, if you're talking about the new processor from the 25 and 26, let's keep moving forward with all these numbers. I don't think you're going to get this spectacular experience if you decide to upgrade. But what I will say is, if you're a tech enthusiast, you're not really going to hold on, because I think some of the people who are holding onto their phones, they're not so much the person who buys every phone every year. or has 4 and 5 lines or just a ton of phones laying around. That's their primary phone and they're just going to keep it until it breaks. That's a different category of person. They fall more into the regular consumer category. Tech enthusiasts, which is a lot of people who watch us and watch me, you probably have multiple phones, at least 2. So I would say to you, definitely buy this phone because the hardware is better, but don't give up your current Ultra, whatever it is. Even people who have the 21 Ultra, the 21 Ultra was the beginning of it all. I know you had the 21 Ultra. It was the beginning of it all. It was the beginning of it all. So I would say upgrading, that's my thoughts on it. After using this for the time that I've had it, and it may be a short window, folks, but I know how to gauge a phone and what I'm going to feel of it. And as long as the years I've been doing this, nothing fancy about me, but I have a lot of phones. I pretty much have all the latest phones and in the US market. And this phone is actually really good. It's really good. Now, we talked about battery. We talked about whether you should upgrade or not. Pricing, real quick, here's what Samsung did. Now, the pre-orders are over. They took away the higher trade-in value, and they shafted you guys on the trade-in. So if you didn't trade in your phone, like if you were the person who was wanting to trade in, you should have done it during the pre-order because they flipped the switch and they pretty much dropped all the trade-ins at least $200 to $400. Yeah, they shafted you. So if you're buying it now, you might probably have to trade in your phone to get that good deal. But what I would say is, if you hit the link in the description and it doesn't take you to the application of your Samsung phone, if you don't have a Samsung phone and you're thinking about buying one of these, install the Shop Samsung application. Then when you use the link, it should take you into your application. Then you should see a free memory upgrade. If you go to the website, on the website, it's not going to give you a free memory upgrade. I've tested this myself, so I don't think, it's like they want you to stay in the application. You can still use the affiliate links that we have. Those are affiliate links for the Samsung, when you buy through most creators, those are affiliate links. And if you don't have the Shop Samsung app and you're on any other phone but a Samsung, install the Shop Samsung app, click the link, it'll take you into the application, then you'll see the free memory upgrade. That's what's gonna happen. So if you don't see a free memory upgrade, you're still in the web browser, which I think is pretty strange. Test this out, you guys. I did it multiple times yesterday, make sure it wasn't a fluke. Went to several different devices, went to non-Samsung phones. It actually works. So now Samsung is offering a free memory upgrade. They're offering a free memory upgrade and you're getting the 1 terabyte for $1,400 instead of $1,800 before tax. That's a big deal, I guess, and you're getting the 512 for $1,200. So at least that's what I see when I log in. So if you're thinking about upgrading and you're worried about the pricing, that's something to piggyback that upgrade. The pricing is very important now. Trade-ins are now $200 to $400 less on these same phones. And then the only way to get the free memory upgrade is to go through the application. If it takes you to the web, you're not going to get it. So you guys, again, asked me about the hardware and things like that. And a lot of you guys are focusing on this privacy display. Yeah, great. I'm happy for people who are really enjoying that. I've already covered that in my first impressions. If you're a person who, like myself, who doesn't want to use it regularly, because I told you, it kind of decreases your resolution a little bit when you use that. Not that you'll be able to tell. The naked eye really can't tell. But some of you guys say you can. I would say set it to certain applications or a time of day, or just set it to how you want it, because taking advantage of this full, beautiful display, Samsung's always winning with displays. They win, period. This is one of the best displays on the market, and it probably always will be. They make some great displays, but I think what they don't tell you, when companies don't tell you something, they're not going to tell you, oh, when you turn this on, though, it's going to decrease your resolution. You can even set it for max privacy. There's different levels. I've shown you again on the previous video. But I would say to you guys out there who are super pumped about this, take advantage of it, man. If it's something you've been waiting on, I'm shocked to see people saying, I've been waiting on that when you didn't even know the technology existed. But hey, I guess, go for it. Enjoy it. I personally just have mine set for certain applications, like important applications like banking and things like that. Other than that, I don't really have anything that I wouldn't want a person to see. I don't care. You look over my shoulder all you want to. Again, with the screen, one of the most beautiful displays that you could get. And I think the more they round off those corners, the better it will be for me, because I like a more rounded corner phone, because you can hold it for an extended period of time with no problem, in my experience. So I really like the display. I really like the battery. The performance is the performance. Like I said, you're not going to get this superior performance over the, and right quick before I get out of here with the display looks the same to me. I see some people saying, oh, the display is way better. It's way better than the 25. I just don't see it. I don't see that it's just so superior. All of the phones, I can pull up my Z Flip and it still looks great. It looks phenomenal next to this phone. It's just what it is. I don't see this superior display technology or quality that some people are seeing. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't notice it. They all look the same to me. Samsung just has great displays. Yeah. So the more they take away this squareness and boxiness of the Ultra, I'm all for it. You know, maybe next year they'll really actually bring a new device like they did for the Edge. I'm really hoping that they don't drop the Edge 26 this year like they did. They should have dropped it with the 26 lineup. But I think when companies do things like this, they know that more people probably would buy the other phone. They probably would do it. But you got to have confidence in your products. And so, you know, this squared off phone used to be cool, but I've just grown so far away from it. And yes, I know what you're going to say, Jay. The Fold 7 is, yes, but the Fold 7 is way more compact and it feels much better in the hand than the Ultra does. The Ultra is a big phone still. But with the more a little bit rounded shaping that they're doing, it's coming along. So I'm impressed with the hardware. I'm impressed with the cameras. In fact, these cameras are the rear cameras on the S26 Ultra. I'm saying it again for those who like to move around in the video. The phone is good. It's a good phone. It's not a great blow them out the water phone. I wasn't expecting that. And that's why I'm content with it. I didn't buy this thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to get blown out of the water with this. No, that's not what I intended. The S Pen, for me, I was a heavy S Pen user. I'll admit, I'm not really a heavy S Pen user anymore. I don't typically edit on these phones anymore. I used to do all phones and edit on them and everything. Sometimes I'll do that. But I'm glad that it's there. And at this point in the game, you know the S Pen, you know everything about it. It is functional. It is very nice to have. And shout out to the people who told me, Jay, you can put the S Pen in backwards. It's going to look crazy. Okay, why would you do that? I don't know, but thanks for the people that tried to put it in backwards. I didn't. It's so flimsy that, you know, the S Pen used to be this sturdy. Now it's just, it feels, well, I know I can crack it without, I can break it with ease. So I'm going to keep mine in the best condition I can keep it in. And not even attempt to put it in the wrong way, because all I need is for it to snap and get stuck in there, and then I'm out of luck. I don't believe in luck, but it'll be not in my best position or favor. So yeah, after the hype with this phone, it's just another good phone from Samsung. There's nothing really bad that I have to say about it at this point. They've obviously refined this phone over and over and over and over again. And the Ultra is the one that, and see, again, this is why I needed them to make another Edge and really capitalize on something that they brought out new. That was a new product. And they just kind of brought it out at the wrong time. Everybody already had their phones. Now, speaking of the S26 Plus and the X26, I wouldn't even bother even looking at these phones if you have any of the previous generations, especially the 24 era. I just wouldn't look at it. They're not changing them. It's like they're just bringing them out just because they have to keep this number going. Samsung, it's okay to discontinue phones, especially phones that probably don't bring you as much revenue. The Ultra is like their top seller, I'm sure. While I feel like the Plus model is actually the more logical one to choose. It's not too big. It has all the quad screen display. It has everything. But separating these phones like this with certain features and functions on one and not the other, I think that's corny at this point in the game, especially for the price that you're asking for some of these phones. Yeah. And somebody's going to tell me I'm crazy, but I won't say it. I'll say that for another video because I don't want to spark a whole bunch of arguing in the comments. But all I can say is Samsung, give me the trifold. That's cool and everything, but we're not kicking out $3,000 plus tax for something like that. I'd rather just have a regular old tablet that's probably going to be a lot stronger than that trifold in tablet mode. So, and we all know that iPads are killing the tablet game. Let's just be honest about it. While Samsung has great tablets, they're great, but I would prefer, and I'm an Android guy at heart, I would prefer to just use an iPad. They cost less and they function and perform better. I can get a iPad Air and it just obliterates some Windows computer. It's incredible, the performance and power that you get and the functionality. It's just that. And then Samsung is getting slapped on the head by Apple with the Neo and the 17E. Believe it or not, people are starting to like the 17E for some reason. The 16E made no sense, and now the 17E makes sense. But it's pretty much the same phone, just with a lower price point, and the memory options are there. See, it's just money. This phone is great. I think a lot of you guys are gonna love this phone when you pick it up, but I'm gonna tell you, try to go for the lowest price possible because they've changed the pricing now. It's not really a significant upgrade at all. We knew this going into it. And I'm being totally honest, it's just really just a good phone. It's not great by any means because they had already made a great phone with the S24. And here we are. After the hype for the S26 Ultra, these cameras are probably looking stellar, so I didn't really feel the need to shoot a bunch of videos and take some photos because I knew how these cameras would be, but I will follow up with just photos and video when I'm out and about in the Corvette or something like that. I'll bring this phone with me, obviously, and I'll take some video and photos with this phone on that channel, and I will display it to you here. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Stay locked. Lots of content coming.